Hello, fellow YouTubers. Lego EWC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. And, figured it was time for a collection update. So let's get started. First thing, I got this little basket of Tsums, I think is how it's pronounced. Just some little Marvel characters I got at Dollar Tree. Thought they were cute, so why not? Next, we have my Sonic display. Here we have the classic vehicle playset shelf, I guess you would call it. And the main classic shelf, which is unchanged. I really wish I could get a 2.5-inch strip for this shelf, but I have not been able to find one. All right, next up we have the main modern shelf. We have Tangle. I was thankfully able to get her, which I'm very happy about because I absolutely love this character. And it was really bugging me that I wasn't able to find her. I hope that Whisper comes out soon, but she was leaked a while ago with no updates, so I'm kind of starting to wonder if they canceled the Sega Heroes line and maybe they're just going to stick her in the main 4-inch line, which I would be okay with. As awesome as it would be to get more Sega franchise representation, man, it'd be really cool to have some Jet Set Radio figures. But with how big of a pain this line is to find in the US, I'd be fine if they canceled it and just moved any Sonic characters that I want into the main line. And there we have Metal Virus Sonic and Zombot Froggy. Happy I was able to get those as well. Really need to go and see if I can find that new Tikal figure in stores. I'd probably stick her somewhere in this area by the Master Emerald. I'm not sure how big of a pain she's going to be to find, but I hope I can get her because she kind of seems like a return to form for this line because for a while I was just not a fan of the new characters we were getting in this line. It just was veering way too much towards classic stuff. Hopefully we're getting back on track for getting the more niche modern characters, which I hope means that a Gamma is finally on the horizon. I want a Gamma so badly. And here we have the modern villain shelf, which is unchanged. Then one of the Lego shelves. Then another one of the Lego shelves, which I've added the basically cross-world sets to. Of course, the standout here is that my boy Silver finally has a Lego minifigure, which makes me so happy. Then there's another Lego shelf. Then on my desk, I have a new laptop. I do still have my old one because it does still work, and I didn't want to transfer all my game save data from it for games that do still run well on it. But this is my main laptop now because the previous computers I was working with, Premiere Pro, didn't work for them anymore. So, obviously that wasn't going to work because that's what I use to edit these videos. So, had to get a new laptop. And on the plus side, I can run more powerful games on it. So, that's kind of cool. Also, I've been reading some Spider-Man comics. I started reading the original 90s Spider-Man 2099 comics, and also the more recent Ultimate Spider-Man comics. Been enjoying both of these so far. Then here we have my Sonic Prime display, which is unchanged and will probably not be changing anytime soon. And here I got some fan art. Someone did a crossover with Transformers and WALL-E, which I really appreciate because I would say WALL-E is my favorite Pixar movie. It's just really good movie. Here I got some sort of stuffed Optimus. I forget what the name of this line was. I got him along with one of the Marvel Tsums, so I'm just going to call him a Tsum just because. And I'm planning on putting that recently leaked Bionicle minifigure. It's technically someone cosplaying as a Bionicle character, but I don't care. It looks like Tahu, so I'm counting it. And it's going to go right here, probably because, I don't talk about it a lot, but I love me some Bionicle. And if there's some sort of new representation of it, I will definitely get it. Let's see, I don't think the rest of this display has changed too much. I really would like to get some more blockies, as I mentioned, but there's just too much chance involved, and I don't really like that. They're such fun little figures, though. And now for my most recent horrible financial decision. I started collecting Marvel Legends figures back in December. I resisted this line for years, but I finally caved. So getting into it, I have Madam Viper. I have Hawkeye with the Sky Cycle, I think was the name of this vehicle. Got the new Retro Mystique. And then the X-Men are mostly from 97. So I have Sunspot, my boy Gambit, Rogue, Cyclops, Wolverine, Morph, and Jean Grey. She's the only one here that isn't X-Men 97. This is the VHS one. I would have gotten the 97 figure, but I just saw the VHS one, and it's on me. I didn't do my research properly, because based on Wolverine, Cyclops, and Storm, I assume most of the figures in X-Men 97 were just repaints of the VHS figures. So I thought it was the same with Jean Grey, so I just went ahead and got her, and found out later that the X-Men 97 one was basically a completely new mold and honestly looked better. So, oh well, you live and learn. Then we had the Maximum Series Spider-Man and the awesome new retro Spider-Man 2099. And then on my cork board, I have the Across the Spider-Verse calendar. And then, see, this is the second take for this. Fell the first time. I have this Blockies collector's card for Rodimus. I got this at a Transformers Trivia Night at my local comic shop. And not to brag, but I got a perfect score on the trivia. So, yeah, that was really, really fun. All right, now to get into the main collection room. So first off, I have my Bionicle displays, which are unchanged, but I still really like how they look. I do plan to add more to them one day, but I tend to get Bionicle stuff I go through Bionicle phases where I just really want to collect new stuff, and I'm just not really having one of those right now, but it'll come back eventually, I'm sure. There's some Ninjago sets down there. And even more Ninjago sets, which as far as I know, these displays have not changed at all. And then another Ninjago display, which once again, I don't think has changed at all, because unfortunately, I'm going through sort of a Ninjago funk. Like, I always watch new seasons of the show when they come out, but I'm not always really staying up to date with the sets, but that'll change, I'm sure, also. And here's my Super Smash Brothers collection. Then my Mega Constructs Halo display. And my video game themed Transformers display. Still really need to add more stuff to the War for Cybertron display. And here's my Clone Wars display, which hasn't changed too much aside from adding a 327 set. I definitely want to get that other set that has Commander Bly in it. There's a lot of cool stuff that would work well for my Clone Wars display right now, but it's just too dang expensive. So, yeah, I'll wait for a sale. Thank you. Yeah, otherwise, this shelf hasn't changed. And then my Mandalorian displays, which also haven't changed that much. With that new Mandalorian movie coming out, I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten any images for Lego sets. I don't know. It feels like it just hasn't been as big of an event as a Star Wars movie coming out usually is. It's kind of weird, honestly. Then here's kind of the miscellaneous stuff. I really gotta get the 2 Andor sets that have been released at some point, because I just haven't gotten around to collecting them. But I thought Andor was a really, really good show, and I'd like to have some representation for it. I'm considering swapping these displays, since I don't know if my Mandalorian displays will be changing too much in the near future, but Clone Wars is kind of my main focus, so I'd like to have more room for it to expand, but we'll see. And then for my, what I call my Spider-Verse display, the top here hasn't changed much, but here I added the train chase scene from Spider-Man 2 and the Sandman battle set from Spider-Man 3. I do and don't want more of these sets based on previous Spider-Man movies, because they're cool to have, but I don't think I could really add much more to this shelf. Then for my main Spider-Man display, I have the Daily Bugle. I have Kingpin just lurking in the background. I just thought that was cool. That totally wasn't because I couldn't find anywhere else to put him. I did that for thematic purposes. Then here we have the Oscorp Tower set. Had a lot of fun setting this display up. See, I've got Eddie Brock fully mutating into Venom. I got Kraven stealing a diamond. And then back here I have Peter Parker's apartment. It's a little crowded, but still, I like how this display looks. And I was today years old when I realized my Carnage minifigure just bit the dust. I gotta fix that. Anyway, here we have my Avengers displays. My kind of Iron Man display. I got that Iron Man mech set. I mainly got it because I think the Iron Man minifigure, it's pretty neat. But the star here is this comic Ultron minifigure. This minifigure looks so good. And here's another Avengers display. Then my miscellaneous display. And then some extra minifigures. But the main focus here is the Fantastic Four set. Very happy to have this set. I think Galactus looks great. The Fantastic Four minifigures are mostly great. And then I got She-Hulk there just because she's been a member of the team before. And then I got my X-Men display. And up there I got my Transformers 1 display, which still hasn't changed. I might get that Arachnid figure because I heard that one's really good, but I'm not sure. Then my Rise of the Beast displays. And my Bumblebee movie display. Then for my Bayverse displays, here we have one side of the Autobot display, one side of the Decepticon display, one side of the Constructicon display, and then my retired figures that I still like but just don't really have anywhere to go, and some miscellaneous ones. More miscellaneous figures, more Constructicons, more Decepticons, and more Autobots. Now for probably some of my favorite changes I made to the collection. I have my Decepticon display from G1 split into 2 shelves, which is nice because I was really not happy with how that shelf looked before. So now I have 2 displays so these figures can really have a chance to shine. So here we have my mostly Season 2 Decepticon shelf, with the exception of Devastator since he technically appeared in the first season, but you know, whatever. This is kind of Season 2 and Combiner shelf because, as you can see, I have most of the Stunticons. Got most of those in the Black Friday 2-packs, and I had to get drag strips separately. But still, not a bad deal at all. Just waiting for a Motormaster reissue, and then the Stunticons will be complete. And here we have the Coneheads, the old and better Astrotrain. And here we have the Combaticons that have been released so far. I've enjoyed these figures for the most part. I think they've been really nice. They're my favorite Combiner team, so I absolutely cannot wait to have them all combined together as Bruticus. That is going to be so awesome. Then my Season 1 Decepticon shelf. Got that awesome new 86 Megatron. I did not expect to love that figure as much as I do. And then I 3D printed some accessories for Siege Soundwave so I can get a sort of Walkman mode out of him, because I'm just planning on sticking with that Soundwave. The 86 one looks awesome, but I'm pretty happy with how that one looks in robot mode. Just wanted to make some changes about his alt mode. And here we have my 1984 Autobots display, which with the recent addition of 86 Windcharger is now complete. I still might get some updates for some of these characters, but in general, I'm done. This shelf is complete. I currently have Origin Bumblebee displayed in robot mode and 86 Bumblebee in his alt mode. That's what I like doing if I have more than one figure of a certain character on the display one in the alt mode. And I like that Bumblebee better in robot mode than the 86 one, so yeah. And here we have my Season 2 Autobot shelf, which also isn't too far off from being complete. See, I've got the complete Aerialbot team, so I've got Superion, looking really awesome. And I'm pretty much just waiting for the new Power Glide and then a new Protectobot team, which I'm pretty sure Hasbro said is on their radar and will be coming out soon, so that's really awesome. And here we have the 86 movie display. Biggest change here was I got an upgrade head for the Kingdom Rodimus because I really did not care for the head sculpt on the original figure, so decided to go in and get an alternate one. I really need to get an upgrade kit for that Kingdom Galvatron to make him taller. I know those upgrade kits exist. Just got to get one of them because this guy is kind of on the short side, and him being shorter than 86 Megatron, that's just no. Oh, sorry about that. Where were we? Oh yeah, Beast Wars. I have the Transmetal Rat Trap, which I'm glad to have, but I've got to do something to repair the paint because I got them on eBay and a lot of the paint has flaked off, which I knew was an issue with transmetal figures. I just haven't had as big of an issue with that, so I got to fix that somehow. But anyway, this is another shelf that isn't too far away from being completed. I think I'm pretty much just waiting for, not waiting, I want to go back and get the Power of the Primes Optimal Optimus, because I think that looks like a good representation of the design. I want a better Transmetal 2 Cheetor, and just a good figure of Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia, which I know is never going to happen, and then this shelf will be done. And here we have my Predacon shelf, which is another shelf that I'm mostly done with the recent addition of that Age of the Primes Quick Strike, which I really need to review soon because that is an awesome figure and he definitely deserves to get his own review. But with him being added to the display, I have a figure of every Beast Wars character, which is really awesome. It always makes me feel good to be able to complete the main cast of a series. And in terms of alternate forms, I'm pretty sure all I'm waiting for is just a new Transmetal 1 Megatron, because I want one that's a little taller or the same height as the Kingdom one, but still shorter than the Transmetal 2 Megatron, because I think that's how upgrades should work. I'm old-fashioned. Then here we have the big guy display. We have Skyfire and the 86 Dinobots. And one of my newest additions, here we have this new display stand I got recently. And I mainly got it for this guy right here, because I was originally planning on putting this figure on the shelf with Skyfire, but I underestimated how big this figure was going to be, and I did not want to put him on here. Had the shelf come down and crush all of my beloved Prime figures, so had to get another stand. But it was worth it. I am very happy to have this figure. And here we have just some kind of extra G1 characters that sort of, again, Slammer and Cog as we know them. Did that design for Cog appear in the G1 cartoon ever? I don't think so. I know Slammer didn't, but I forget with Cog. I don't think he did. But anyway, this is just kind of my extra G1 characters that I couldn't fit very easily on the other displays, so they're just going to go here. Since I'm not really too focused on much past the 86 movie for the collection, I think this will work fine. Because the main things I want to add here are just the remaining 86 mini-bots, so that's Swerve, who we already know is coming, and Outback, who I guess is starting to pop up right now. I'm waiting for a new Tailgate, because I do like that one, but I'm excited about one that's a retooled 86 Windcharger, and the mini-bots will basically be done. Then here we have 8 of the 13 Primes. I still need to go back and get Megatronus and Star Convoy, which I intend to do at some point. And then, of course, gotta pre-order Nexus Prime and Liege Maximo. Then it's pretty much just waiting for Vector Prime, and this collection will be done. It's just really cool to have the original Transformers as figures. Really enjoy that in one line. It's just awesome. Then here we have my More Than Meets the Eye / Lost Light display. Like how this display looks. Happy to finally have Rodimus on it. It's the knockoff of the AMT, but Adamus Machina. Probably totally butchered that name. Yeah, I went ahead and got the knockoff because the official one was way too expensive. This one was significantly cheaper, and the quality's pretty good on it. So why not? Then here we have my Wreckers display. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to be adding to this display because, of course, the Wreckers are an ever-changing roster. I would like to get the new Iron Fist Fistotron. I'm not sure what to call him. At some point, it would be really awesome to have him represented on this display. I do also want to get Topspin. Just really wish he wasn't in a 2-pack with Spinister because I already have Spinister. But regardless, I have to get a Topspin. I can't leave Twin Twist hanging like that. Then we have an empty shelf on the bottom. And the plan for that shelf is just move some of these shelves down, probably the More Than Meets the Eye and Wreckers shelves, and then probably split the 13 Primes display into 2 shelves. So I think this will work. Although Star Convoy might have to be sitting down. Now coming over to my Prime display. I don't think there's been any new additions here. I really need to get that new APC Toys Dreadwing. It looks so awesome. It looks to be so much better than the original figure. Then my Prime Autobots display. Like how this display looks. And we've heard that the people at Hasbro are interested in making the rest of the rescue bots, which I'm happy about because they gave me a bit of a scare that they weren't going to complete the team, because that would really suck, because this is just one of the smallest character rosters in any Transformers series, and it'd be a shame to not get at least the original 4. I'd like to get the characters that were introduced later, but if we could just get Chase, Heatwave, and then they make Boulder and Blades, I'd be content. I'd be fine with that. And here we have the animated Decepticons and the animated Autobots. And for more of my Sonic displays, here we have the miscellaneous stuff and the movie 3 stuff. Then here we have the DC X Sonic display, which has grown some. I got some of the 2-packs, so I have Silver with Green Lantern. Then I have my boy Flash with Sonic, and Amy with Wonder Woman. Now, over the past couple weeks, I have picked up some more of the Wave 2 stuff. So I have Shadow with the Bat Cycle, which is really awesome. We have a fully articulated Shadow with a motorcycle. Don't know why we couldn't have had this for movie 3, but whatever, I guess. Here we have Knuckles as Superman in the 5-inch scale, and Tails as Cyborg in the 5-inch scale. I haven't opened these yet because I'm waiting to get the 2.5-inch Shadow with the Batmobile so I can do a full Wave 2 review. I wanted to keep that theme going. Only unfortunate thing is that box is probably going to have to go, which I have been planning that for a while, pretty much ever since I tried to save it. It's just a bit of a bummer because it's such a cool looking box, and keeping it in decent shape was not an easy task. But yeah, it's probably going to have to go. And that one stack shelf that you saw in the closet is what I'm planning to put on this display. But with all that being said, I think that's going to do it for this collection update for now. I always enjoy showing off the new stuff I've added and just changes I made to what's already there, and I look forward to seeing what I do with it in the future. So let me know what you think down in the comments, and if you like this video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and God bless.